Hey everybody, Miss Dietrich here. We're taking a look at question number 9 from the L11. It says, follow the clues to determine the coordinates of point E. So first we have to reflect point D over the x-axis. So if we think about the ordered pair for point D, I'm just going to write it over here. The ordered pair for that is, we're going to go over 3 and then down 3. So it's a positive 3 and then a negative 3. Now remember, if we're reflecting over the x-axis, let me trace that in red, is right here. That has to be on the other side of that red line. So it's over here. We got to put it over here somewhere. And the rule for reflecting over the x-axis is we keep the x-coordinate the same. So that means we're going to keep that 3. And we change this, the y term, to its opposite. So what's the opposite of a negative 3? It's a positive 3. And let's go ahead and plot that reflection. We'll go over 3 and up 1, 2, 3. And we'll put point D with a little apostrophe on that, so we're reminded that that's the reflection. All right, so we've just done that. The next bullet says to move 7 units left. Now 7 units left is an x-axis thing. Going left is a negative 7. Remember, this is the x and this is the y. So we really have to do minus 7 or subtract 7 from the y to get the new point, right? So if we get the new point for point D, and if we think what's 3 minus 7 or what's a positive 3 added to a negative 7, let's just count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So here's the new spot right there. Now look at the ordered pair for that. If we do a 3 and a negative 7 and combine that, that's going to give us a negative 4, which by the way is the same thing if you do 3 minus 7. And then aren't we still at the 3 for the y? All right, so that's done. Next bullet point says move 6 units down. Now 6 units down, that's a y-axis thing, right? Up and down is a y-axis. So that means if this is the y, we have to subtract 6 from that, or that's the same thing as adding a negative 6. Now if we think what's a 3 and a negative 6 combine out to be, we should get the answer that way, but let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So now we're here. Now what's that dot? That dot is still a negative 4, right? We have to go left 4 to get to it. And we're at the negative 3 on the y. So if we were to combine these two things, we could also get the negative 3 that way. All right, so we're still not finished. We've just done this. Now we have to do this last bullet point, which says, reflect the point over the y-axis. Now remember the y-axis, I'm going to trace that in yellow. That's on the other side of the yellow line. Now remember, reflecting over the y-axis, we keep the y term the same. So we're going to keep that y term, and we're going to change the x term to its opposite. So what's the opposite? And by the way, this is going to be point E. What's the opposite of negative 4? Because you're going to put that, whatever that is, right here. And we're going to keep that the same, negative 3. And then what I'm recommending that you do is plot that. Now, I do want to remind you all that the distance that this point is away from the yellow line, it should be the same distance on the other side of the yellow line. So we're looking over here, right? Where my little cursor is. That should be where you end up. So look through the answer choices, everybody, and pick the one that goes with that. All right, good luck finishing that up.